Hey guys, what's up? Quick video for you today. So it's June in Florida, and you want to go on a backpacking trip, a bushcraft trip, camping. Except the problem is, it's June in Florida. So these are going to be 5 tips on how to make your hot weather backpacking trip a little more comfortable. Alright guys, tip 1, this is the least fun one, and that is hydrate the night before you go. So you gotta pound the water, drink as much as you can. Now you can kind of tell on how hydrated you are by how dark your pee is. So if it's really, really dark yellow, you're dehydrated. If it's really clear, then you're doing pretty good. And that's where you need to be. You need to have your pee so clear that Bear Grylls will consider it a delicacy. So aside from pounding all the water night, another thing that helps is to plan your trips around water sources. That helps for obvious reasons, right? So I tend to use the Guthook app, mostly here in Florida. I've been doing a lot of hikes on the Florida Trail, and it will show you where all of the water sources are along the Florida Trail. It's incredibly helpful with knowing exactly how much distance you have to get to your next water source. Now there are a couple pieces of gear that you can use to kind of help keep yourself cool as well as hydrated on your trip. I picked this up at Walmart a couple years ago. I don't really use camelbacks too much, but in the summertime I do like to use this one. It's made out of that material that you can freeze, like a freezer pack, like when you get a headache. And the mouth of it's kind of wide. So typically what I'll do in the summer is I'll fill this up with ice, throw it in the freezer the night before, so it's completely frozen, and the next day fill it up with water. And if you have a frameless pack, any kind of pack that sits up against your back, you're going to have a big thing of ice water up against your back. So hiking in, it's because it's already going to be at least a little bit hot, isn't so bad. And then you have, I think that's 3 liters. You got 3 liters of ice water. If you probably top it off, maybe before the ice melts all the way, you get a little bit more. Ice water is awesome. Another thing you could do, and this involves eating a little bit of weight and bulk in your pack, is get your Yeti. I'm sure everybody's got one of these, a real one, a knockoff one, whatever. Fill it up with ice, once again, the night before. You can put a piece of parchment paper, plastic, whatever, across the top so no water leaks into your gear, and just save this. And save onto it, don't drink it during the day, wait till it gets pretty close to night, or at night, and you have ice, you got your filtered water from your water source, fill it up, boom, ice water. So that will really help cool your core down at night when you're going to need it to be able to sleep. You can be hot during the day, that's one thing. The sleeping sucks hot, right? So cool your core down. I don't always do this. I've probably done it once, maybe twice, and because it feels a little cheating, it feels whatever, but it does work. I've done it. I don't know. I wouldn't blame you if we went backpacking in the summer and you pulled one of these out filled with ice. I'd probably be a little jealous because I probably wouldn't do it. So, anyway. Tip number 2 for hot weather backpacking in Florida. This one's pretty simple. Just stay out of the sun. What you're going to want to do is plan for a shorter hike into camp. Save those 20-mile days for when the weather's better. So on these types of days, you want to go early in the morning, get to wherever you're going to camp, and then stay in the shade. You want to set it up to where you're getting there late morning, early afternoon, before the hottest part of the day, and spend that hottest part of the day in the shade, under a tarp, doing something really low impact. I like to carve and whittle, so I would do that. If you're into the bushcraft thing, then this is your time to carve a spoon or work on a tri-stick. If you're not in the bushcraft thing, you can read a book, bring a Rubik's Cube. You can do Sudoku. Puzzles are great for this kind of thing. So really anything that's just gonna keep you kind of sedentary but entertained, and just relax. So that's what you want to do in the middle of the day when it's hot. Tip 3 for hot weather backpacking in Florida. And this is going to be about your clothing. So I know you bushcraft guys, you're going to want to wear, your flannel, or your thick fall raven pants you pay $200 some for because they're awesome. But summer's not the time for that. Summer is dress as light as you can to just stay as cool and airy. Airy is a good word. Airy as you can. So this is what I will typically wear in the summer. So if you watch my videos, you've seen this hat a lot. It's just a really old Vans hat. I love this thing. I wear it all the time. So that's my hat. For camp, if I was doing a backpacking trip right now, I don't usually bring camp shoes, but this is a situation where I would. And just a cheap pair of flip-flops, something that doesn't add too much weight and bulk to your pack. But being able to get to camp, take your shoes off, let those puppies breathe, man. Let those puppies breathe. Some nice camp shoes. You can even go barefoot. A lot of people do that. I don't like stepping on sharp things, rocks and sticks and stuff, but if it doesn't bother you, there you go. You don't even need them. Another thing, I really don't go on any trips without this, is a buff. Now, it doesn't have to be a buff. It can be a handkerchief. It can be a schmog. I usually have this and one or two of those other options anyway. But really, I would say my buff is probably my favorite. So it's a sweat mop. Sweating, and there you go. My shoes, I tend to strict year-round anyway to trail runners. So mesh, breathable, help keep your feet a little cool. So that's kind of how it all starts with being less hot. Okay, let's talk underwear, man. So any kind of synthetic underwear. These are Reebok, spandex, whatever style underwear. Most of the time now, I wear Sacs. I do have some ex officio also. I don't care what kind of underwear you wear. That's just what I wear. But anything like that that's going to be quick drying, moisture wicking away from those sensitive areas will help keep you cool in the summer. With the socks thing, I do Smart Wool ankle socks. Darn Tough's another good option. I fought the wool sock thing for years because it didn't make sense in my head how I just figured wool socks would be too hot for Florida. And I was wrong. So I ended up getting a pair for Christmas one year or my birthday or something. And I guess I'll try them. Everybody says, okay, they are, even though they're thicker, they're actually way less hot than my standard cotton socks I wear at work. I don't know why I don't wear these full time, but they work. Moisture wicking, they breathe better. They're better for your feet. Last but not least, well, actually no, I got two things left. Shorts. I wear these all the time. These are just some Under Armour. They're almost like swimsuit material. They don't have a liner. Nothing special about these at all. I got these at a thrift store for just a couple dollars. I'm pretty sure I washed them first before I wore them too, which is nice. But yeah, any kind of material like this that doesn't stay wet, because you're going to be sweating no matter what, right? Is good. Keeping that hot sweat on you just sucks. Plus, if you're lucky enough somewhere where you can go swimming, then you can just hop right in with these. You don't have to worry about it. So somewhere like Hidden Pond or something. T-shirts about the same. Kind of like a spandex, see-through type material. Found these recently at Old Navy. Fell in love with them. They're like $10. I wear those a lot. So anyway, that's pretty much my clothing picks. You're going to want some variation of that. Doesn't have to be that specific Old Navy shirt. You can do Darn Tough instead of Smart Wool. You don't have to have ultras. But that particular kind of mindset to clothing will help keep you cool while on a backpacking trip in June in Florida. Tip 4 for hot weather backpacking in Florida. So summer backpacking. And for this one, I'm going to say, make your campfire small, if you have a campfire at all. So if you're going with a few friends, you're going to end up having a fire because this is kind of a thing, sit around the fire. But don't build that big bonfire you do when it's cold and it's wintertime. Work on, having smaller fires, more controlled fires. If you're by yourself, consider skipping the fire altogether and cook whatever dinner you're going to have on a twig stove, a canister stove, or alcohol stove, whatever kind of stove you use. So that way you have less radiant heat to keep you hot. You'll just cool down much faster. So, no big fires. Tip 5 for hot weather backpacking in Florida. For this one, I'm going to talk about your shelter. I want you to sleep in a hammock. So, being in a hammock will allow you to have airflow both above and below you. So that just kind of helps keep you cool at night to help you sleep better. So you may want to go with an oversized tarp. Just eat a little bit of weight, a little bit of extra bulk, so that you can have a bigger tarp so that you can hang it higher, but still, it'll keep the rain out because it's going to rain because it's Florida summers. So if you can hang it higher, that's even more airflow, that's going to be good. So if you're going to skip the underquilt, because you're probably not going to need it, you're going to want to consider using a double layer hammock, or a hammock with that's got one of the external bug nets, that go around the whole thing to keep the mosquitoes out. I've had experiences with single layer hammocks without a bug net, and the mosquitoes can still bite me through that material, and that sucks. So what I currently use now, and you don't have to use this, but what I use now is a double layer Ridge Runner hammock. It's a bridge hammock. It's what I found to be the most comfortable for me. So it's got a bug net, it's double layer, it has a pad sleeve. I don't really need the pad for insulation in the summer, but I'm still going to use it. I find the hammock is just more comfortable that way, and everybody's different. Everybody's different when it comes to hammocks. But if I was not going to use that pad, still being double layer would most likely keep the mosquitoes from biting me. So if you're like me, it took me quite a while to figure out which hammock worked. I tried a whole bunch, and the bridge hammock just kind of worked for me. But for most people, a standard hammock works fine once you figure out how to do the diagonal lay. And being in that hammock at night with the airflow is going to help keep you cool at night, and you're going to be able to sleep better. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. That was my 5 tips on hot weather summer backpacking in Florida. I guess these tips would work anywhere else too, but I'm in Florida, so. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys next time. See you later.